There's your M&Ms. Here. Good morning. Here. I'm gonna say hi. Let's see. Let's move this a little. Good morning. I'm getting stuck to everything here. All right, I'm gonna leave this up. I'm running a little bit late. Actually, my clock's wrong. So I'm about 7 minutes behind. Sorry. The clock on the wall must be needing new batteries because it is just like 2 after. Thank you for your shopping. I'll call you in a minute. Okay, when I start. Good morning. I'm just getting some things ready. Trying to find some things here. Of course, always a mess. Try and see who all hops on, because I really want to go ahead and get into this. This is going to be a little bit longer of a tutorial live than I normally do. So I kind of want to jump in here quickly. And I didn't realize I was running behind, so I've already put myself behind. Okay. Get this hair up. All right, so, yeah, I'm running a little behind. Good morning. Did I get your message? No, I haven't been on yet this morning, so I was actually at home, and then I came in and I was getting all my supplies up and running. But I will go ahead and look at that when we're done here today. Turn my air conditioning down a little here. Usually I have it really low because I'm running my heat presses, but I don't have my heat presses on. If it's a little noisy, it's because I got my Glowforge going. We are going to be using that today. So I fired it up. It is ready. It is waiting. So we are going to go ahead and start. And as you've seen, we are going to make the door rounds that, good morning. So we're going to be making the big wooden door rounds. I am going to be selling some of these as kits. Everything you'll need to go in it will be ready. It'll be packaged, and then all you got to do is paint it and assemble it, and you're good to go. So I am going to be listing these as well. I have about 30 of them. Unfortunately, when we had the wood shortage and that, I haven't seen them back in stock. That doesn't mean that not everywhere is back in stock, because whenever I went and bought these, I had to travel 2 hours to go get them. And so I don't know if things are coming back in stock or anything like that, and if the prices are even coming down, because they were astronomical a while ago when I did see a few in my area. Your area might have them, but currently I'm in Pennsylvania and I can't even find them in the next 2 states. So that's kind of a bummer, because these are my favorite door rounds. But neither here nor there, I am going to have some kits available. And if you are one of the lucky ones that can find them in your area, that's awesome. All right, but these are the door rounds that I'm using. These literally have just come from Home Depot. These are the 18-inch rounds, and I also do make the 20-inch rounds. I have one hanging in my house, so you can do them in the different sizes. They have them 18, 15, 18, and 20. Those would probably be the ones that I would just use for these. I probably wouldn't go any smaller sizes, because they have like 12 inches and stuff. But once they start getting smaller, they tend to, you don't have as much surface to work on. This is my favorite size. This in the 20-inch. This is an 18. Okay, and as I said, I get these at Home Depot. So I'm not sure if Home Depot still has them. But they're very lightweight. They are nice and thick. But I hang them right on my door. right on, you know, on a porch. They can be hung in interior, exterior. I do have the big 20-inch round in my house, right in my dining room. And it's not like, these aren't super heavy. They're very light. All right. All right, so these are what we're going to use today. This is what I'm going to be using. Good morning. All right. So let's put this one aside because, Katie, please can turn off your iPad so it doesn't die. But I got my granddaughter with me today, so if I'm kind of like, sometimes I might be doing stuff. She's with me here. Okay. What I do to start usually, I will get a bunch of rounds and I will stain them, all right? And the reason I do that is because stain takes a while to dry. So I like to let them sit at least overnight to get dried. I stained this one in dark walnut, and Mim Wax dark walnut color. It is my favorite, and I also have another favorite. It's called aged. I think it's called aged whiskey barrel or aged barrel. I can't remember which one it is, but it's one of those two. That is my next favorite. Let me see if I have a round with that color here. I don't have one that's just not completed, but this is the color of it. This is the color of the aged. This is probably my favorite, is the aged whiskey barrel or aged barrel. I don't have the color with me because I usually stain these at my house and then I'll just stain them and bring them in. This is one of my favorite colors. So as you can see, the differences in coloring. One's dark, one's light. But this one's, between these two, these are my favorite colors. This is probably my favorite. I will tell you, these do very well sellers at craft shows. So if you're looking for a few different more expensive items to take to a craft show, these are great for them, and fall's coming up. And that's exactly what we're going to do today. I was going to do that hello one, and then I thought, you know what, let's do a fall one. So again, I just stain these at my house. I do stain front and back because when they're finished and the back is done, it definitely looks more professional. Okay, now if you choose not to do that, that's okay, but I like that look of it being finished front and back. So let's put this aside because what we're going to need to do is I'm going to use the Glowforge today. And if you're considering a Glowforge, I do have a link in the announcements. Please use that because you will get like 200 off, 300 off, and I think 500 off, depending on what model. And we're going to go over that in a minute, but I want to start with, get in here and get moving, okay? Because this is going to take a little bit of time because we are painting. So with my Glowforge, I buy these pre-cut panels. They're like a bass board, very light and inexpensive. You can buy these. They can be sold, people sell them online. I get these in an Etsy shop. And you can also get some of the different ones from there. Also, you can also buy these in Home Depot. And this is what size is this? It fits right in my Glowforge. So it's nice because they're already cut. They are 19 by 12, so 12 by 19, all right? And this is what I use, we're gonna use for the wording on our sign. And if you have a Glowforge, these cut so nice. All right, a little trick that I found before this wonderful stuff of 3M come out. We used to have to glue everything together and glue all your little pieces. And sometimes when you get those little pieces, those things are buggers to, put glue on, make sure it's not seeping out around the edges. Let me tell you, this stuff is amazing. I buy this again on Etsy. There's many sellers on Etsy that sell these 3M sheets. I buy them in 12 by 12 sizes, and then I just take them, you just peel them off, and then they're very, very, very sticky. And then I just cut them and I put them on on here. This was also another 12 by 12 piece, and I just cut it down already. So then I just get it here, and it's simply going to go in the Glowforge just like this, and we're going to cut this side. So with cutting of the Glowforge, you got to remember we are cutting with a laser, so we've got that burnt marks. And in order to avoid that, we're going to need to, do you remember the transfer tape we used to use for vinyl? We're going to use that. And it come in rolls. This I buy right off of Amazon, and it is like a masking transfer. This is the stuff I've used forever. I could probably put a link with this and some of my other items. I'll go ahead and link as many things as I can. Sometimes I lose my own links, so I'll link as many things I can when I'm done with this video, okay? But this is the transfer paper that I use. I've been buying this for years and years and years off of Amazon. You know I don't like a lot of things on Amazon, but this is one of the things I do. So all we're going to do is we need to cover the front of our board. We got the backs already covered with this 3M tape, but we need to cover the front, and that's going to help to avoid all that charring. Okay, so a little trick that I've learned years ago is I always took and started a little piece. I actually would like adhere it to my table or my surface. Because this is transfer paper, you know it doesn't leave residue and it doesn't stick. So I do that with this too. And then I just line it up. That's how I do it with my vinyl as well. All right, let me get a good line here. Okay, so we do this, and then I am just going to put it on here. And I'm going to come across. Literally, I'm gonna roll it out. Right across my paper, or my piece of wood. And then I am just gonna use my squeegee. I'm gonna squeegee it on here. Take my scissors and just cut it off. Alright, that's it. Let's get that out of the way. That's it. And now we got this on here. I'm just going to squeegee it on because this is going to go into the Glowforge. Okay? I don't have to cut off the edges, but I will. Because this paper, this wood fits in the Glowforge nicely, this piece. I am going to literally take you over and show you. As I said, I was going to do this completely, start to finish. You're going to be traveling with me for a little, here and there, okay? Okay, so I got my Glowforge ready. Here we are. This is just sitting in the bed of the Glowforge, okay? See how nicely it fits in there? I love that because it's already in there. It fits. Just gonna close down the door. So, and we need to come back over to my screen, and it's gonna scan in here. All right, so this is my Glowforge screen. It's very easy software to use, all right? And this is what it's showing me in here. Let's get out of here. We're going to restart this again. All right, so this is my page, and this is everything that I've got already. I created, and it's in here. So my Hello Pumpkin is right here. So we're going to open this up, and it's going to be on my screen. And this is literally scanning my bed. It shows the bed of the bed of my Glowforge. This is what's in there. It's showing me my piece of paper or my wood, but I'm seeing the paper top, obviously, the transfer. Okay. And let's go over here. We're going to grab this. And it looks like I deleted my little I. All right, so let's go back in. I'm going to delete this out because I accidentally deleted that. I deleted my I in here. I was wondering what that little circle was. Oh, that was me. All right, let's make sure that's deleted. Okay, that's deleted. So I'm going to pull up this file again. So it's telling me I need to upload it. So from my files that I already created. And here it is. Sorry. Alrighty. So here is my file that I already created. Alright. Hello Pumpkin. That's what we're going to do today. Since we're kind of heading into fall and we're starting to get fall crafts done, I figured you'd probably want to see something like that. Now each one of these letters, they are going to be individual. Unless I've done something like this in my, where I created it at and I welded it together. And if you're familiar with vinyl and welding your cursive letters together, you still need to do that when we are cutting in the Glowforge, because you got to remember it's cutting and thinking just almost like vinyl. Okay, it is cutting out like vinyl is. It's thinking just like it. So that's why I like the Glowforge, because if you've ever used vinyl and you've cut with Cricut or Silhouette, the Glowforge almost thinks exactly like vinyl when you're cutting. So in order to not waste a lot of my material here, I'm going to just group this together and I'm going to try to get as much into my space without wasting, because again, we're thinking like vinyl. And if you remember trying not to use as much vinyl as you can, you kind of grouped everything together and you used all these little spaces and stuff. That's what we're going to do now. This little bugger here keeps getting in my way. That's my dot for my eye. So let's go up here. We're not going to waste anymore. So let's put it up here. Okay, so now that I know where it's at, I need to tell it what I'm going to be using and cutting. Since I already had this set, I have it set as the thick basswood plywood. Because this is basswood, even though it's not really thick. I think this one's only like a 1/8 inch thick. I buy them in an 1/8 inch and a 1/4 inch. This one's only an 1/8 inch. But I need to tell it it's going to use the basswood to cut. And when there's certain settings in here, as you can see, that you can choose from. And there's many more. You can list in more. It'll ask you to find material. There's a bunch. Acrylics, all kinds of stuff in here. All right. I'm going to use the basswood, just because I know that this one cuts really well. And I don't have to set all the different things, because you can set your own manual here. And then when you hit manual, it'll have all kind of settings in here. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to let it cut it itself. Okay? Because this is a good setting. Sometimes they're not, but this one's a good one. So now all I do is I'm going to ready my print. And it's telling me it's preparing it. And I don't know if you can hear in the background, but my machine is working. It's looking it over again. It's centering it. Let's see if we can get you here. Okay. So it prepared it. What that did, the laser head came over and it literally came down and it centered it on my board and it went back. So as soon as that's ready, I'm going to get this blue light and it's going to be glowing. That means all I got to do is, because what it tells me over here, it's telling me it's magic time. So what that means is that little button lights up as soon as it means it's magic time, which push your button for your Glowforge to begin. And it's telling me it's going to take 1 minute and 18 seconds to cut this. Okay, so let's push our button. Okay, it's firing up. Now it is doing its magic. Uh-oh. And it's not cutting, which... If something could go wrong, it would be right now, right? Okay, so we're going to cancel this out. I might have accidentally did that with moving it. All right, so let's go back in. I am going to exit this. All right. I'm going to reopen it. I might have messed it up when I went back in to do manual. So it's going to refocus again. And don't worry if that happens, because you can always start over. Sorry, let me close this down. Gotta remember, this is also it's also a computer, so it kind of, if you mess with it sometimes, you will get it out of sync. Okay, hold on, honey. So I just shut it down. I fired it back up. And when I did, it automatically told me it was offline. This is your command central. So if you're needing to know that, and you know, this is very easy software to use. That's the one thing I absolutely love about this machine. This software is so easy to use, and it comes with it, so it's automatically there for you. All right, so it does all the work for you. It's centering it. Let's show you what it's doing. It's going to be in here. It's going to be centering. It's finding the center of my material. No, don't put that on, honey. It's too heavy, and it's too small. So when the Glowforge, it kind of gets ready again, it takes a minute. It has a bunch of things it needs to do. It's got to figure out your wood size. There's a little camera eye right here. It's called a fish eye. And it's literally, it looks at everything. Nice of you to pretend to make a mistake. Listen, I did make a mistake, because I ended up, sometimes when you you get, it's a computer, so if you kind of go out of sync or you do something against it, it's, honey, I can't do this right now. I can't. It kind of just, it's like any other computer, like you did things too fast or anything, so that's what I did. All right, so now it's ready to print. Okay, it went back to its base. It has a home base. It's up in the left-hand corner. All right, and it's ready to print, so let's push this button so it prepares it. And again, we're just going to go through this. We'll put it over on the table, honey. Thank you. And I'll put it on in a minute as soon as I put the camera up. Okay. And it's magic time. So we're going to push this button, and hopefully this works this time. Okay. Well, my machine is not cutting. All right. I'm going to put you up here, and I'm going to get this. I might need to clean the fish eye of it. Hold on. Oh. Let me try and figure this out. This is funny. If something would go wrong, of course it would go wrong right now, right? I just did 3 cuts this morning on it. Okay, I'm back. Let me figure this out. All right, sorry. Cancel that printout. I was wrong, it is cutting. It's cutting. I just don't have it cut deep enough. I must have changed the settings by accident. All right, so I just couldn't see it because Okay, can you see me? Because it looks like my internet's messing up too. I'm gonna wait a minute. Can everybody see me? Okay. All right, so it is cutting. That was my mess up. I thought it wasn't cutting. It is, but I didn't have it cut deep enough. Because when I did, what I did was I changed it manually by accident. Whenever I went and showed you, it automatically reverted to manual. So, let's get this changed right. Okay, now we're good. This should work. Oh, it's still on its cool down. In between, as soon as you're done with a, I'm gonna turn my machine back on. In between, when your cut's done, it will have this small cool down period. All right. Okay, you can hear now? Okay, good. Just tuning in. All right, just tuning in. How am I feeling? I'm feeling much better. Okay, so you will always have a cool down in between your cuts. It'll tell you that there's a little cool down period, and it tells you to leave the doors closed. Do that. It just stops a lot of smells coming in. All right, so I restarted it. It was cutting. It's just my cut wasn't deep, and I didn't realize that. And if that happens, let me tell you what not to do is, who's my little, don't move your material. Okay, leave your material in and don't move it. You can go back and reset your machine to, if it didn't deep cut like it didn't there, you can go back and just recut it. All right. Since I've already got a little bit of marking up there, I'm going to move this out of its way. And hopefully that will, since it really didn't cut, it won't mess up. All right. So it's centering again. We're working it over all again. All right. So this, it's literally, it's figuring itself out, everything that it needs to do. But yeah, if you do mess up and you don't get a cut just right, don't touch your material inside. Just leave it sit there. You can go back in and adjust these settings or anything that you need to do. You can go back in and do that, and it'll just go over that same markings that you just did. See how it cut a little bit, and you can see? So I need to move out of that area. See if I can avoid any of that area there. I think all it did was cut the paper. Well, let's hope for the best here. How about that? We'll get this up and out of there. Sorry, trying to move this around just to avoid where it did cut a little bit. And I actually think all it did was just cut the paper. I don't think it cut through. All right, so we're ready. We're gonna try this. Since that was my fault, I didn't have my settings right. When I went in and showed you guys, I messed it up. All right, so let's do this again. Take 3. All right, it's figuring out where it needs to go. And then this is where it usually sits when it's ready, or when you start it up. That's its homing position. Okay, so we're just waiting for the blue light. And I'll tell you, one of the important things that you need with this is you'll need to clean your lenses often. So make sure you get wipes if you do get these. All right, time for the magic. No, it should cut now. There we go. See the little laser cutting it? All right, while that's cutting, let's see how long this is telling me. So this is gonna be 9 minutes. The only reason it wasn't, I thought that was awfully quick, was because I didn't have the settings in correctly. So this is going to take 9 minutes. That's okay, because while this is going, we are going to start doing other things, okay? So that's going to cut in the background. All right. let me get a little drink here, sorry. I still got that nasty cough. It's been hanging on for like 7-8 weeks now. I didn't have COVID, but whatever was out there lingering or lurking around was horrible. Hey, don't kill those. All right, put them up. All right, I still gotta watch my granddaughter here. She tends to like to get into a lot of grandma's stuff. And then I'll go and she'll hide things and I can't find it. Gotta love grandchildren, huh? All right, so we're gonna start with this board since this is the one that I'm gonna use, and we're gonna do a fall design. So everything we really need to do is, I like to do 3 different colors on mine. You could just do this if you wanted, and that's fine. I like to do the 3 different colors. And how I do that is, I just get some blue painter's tape, and I tape off my areas. What, honey? You want to say hi? Well, let's just hold you up here. How about that? Say hello. This is my little Katie. She is third in line of my grandchildren. So, say hi. All right, I'm gonna go play. Make sure you don't pull them apart, okay? Okay, so I'm just gonna take this, I'm gonna section this off. And I don't have no rhyme or reason. Let me put this on her. She's been asking me to put this necklace on her. All right, there you go. Okay, and I don't really have any rhyme or reason on how I do it. I'm an eyeballer, so I kind of just eyeball a lot of this. And I will tell you, when I do them, I'm going to be honest with you, I do 2 or 3 at a time. Because there is a drying process with this, because it is paint. And, when I stain a bunch of boards at the same time. Yesterday I did a few in this darker color because I was working with it. So I did that. So when I'm doing these sections along the bottom, I'll probably make like 2 or 3 of the same designs, or like if I'm taking to a craft show, or if I'm using paint colors, I will do all of the bottoms at one time, and I'll just have several pots of paint out. So that's kind of like, I have like almost a production line. So with painter's tape, all you gotta do is really just get that down. And I'm gonna use 2 colors because I always like to have one of my stain, and usually I do stain anywhere. I do like it across the top that's where I usually do it. But you can do it anywhere, make it yours. So we're gonna do a fall color, so I'm gonna do orange and I'm gonna do white. And the bottom portion of this, I am going to do, I'm going to do the orange color. Let me get all right. So I'm just going to lift this up so that I can paint. All right, so I'm gonna do orange on the bottom. So I'm gonna get a little bit of my orange out. And I am just going to start painting. And we're gonna kind of hurry this up with, what I'm gonna do is, when I'm in a hurry kinda, I use my heat gun, and I kind of hurry up that process a little. All right. You can make it solid, you can do 1 coat, you can do 2 coats. Just depends on the look that you're looking for. Okay. edges real good. Today's going to be a loud video because now I'm going to use my heat gun. Alright. I'm going to leave this more of an opaque bottom. And every now and then you'll hear my granddaughter running through like a crazy wild child. She likes it here at the shop. She gets little nuts. Alright. Everybody still hearing me okay? Because I got a lot of noise going on. And we're going to make more noise. This is just a heat embossing tool. I've had this for years, but you can buy a heat gun right at Lowe's. So I'm just going to hit this real quick. And I'm going to pull, I always pull the tape off while it's wet. Get those nice crisp lines and you're not pulling off any tape. As you can see, the line's nice and crisp. So let's dry it. No better boring video than watching paint dry. It's like watching water boil. And this is why I usually do these in like 3 or 4 at a time, because you are sitting, getting these paint to dry, and that's a process in itself, waiting for all of that. And when you're using a heat gun, make sure you keep it moving or you'll bubble your paint. And I really like to stain or paint when it's like summer and it's hot outside, because I'll do these outside and seriously, by the time I'm usually down to the 3rd or 4th one I'm doing, the first one's ready for the next step. So I did that yesterday with, I was staining. And I was also staining some stair treads yesterday. So I'm like, oh, let me take these out and I'll get some stained. So they were getting stained in the dark walnut, which I used here. And they were drying, even the stain was drying within 20 minutes because it was so hot here. And I just need to get this really good and dry, sorry. So this is probably gonna be the most boring part. That's why I wanted to start it early, because I knew I had to do cutting. We're gonna do painting. But if you do have to go, I will put this video up.
Wait, Mom. When are we going home?
In a minute, honey, right? Grandma's gonna finish this and then we'll go home. She wants to go in the pool, so we're gonna take lunch at the pool.
I want to have pool.
I know. So how has everybody's summer been? We've had a lot happen here, and I was sick for a while, so I was like, I know, everybody was coughing. We had a horrible cough. Like, not just me, but like my grandchildren, my daughter. Okay, so this is good. Shy, get shy. Okay, so now we're down to this. This is dry now. This is enough dry. Let me rinse this one out real quick. Okay, so I got this clean. Usually I use paper plates. I don't have any down here at the shop. And then I like to put several colors out on disposable paper plates, and then I just throw them out. All right, so we're gonna move on. I'm gonna put white up here. I'm gonna do a white,
That's
and
white.
then I'm gonna leave, yes. So this is like an off-white. This is actually called, I can't see. I think it's linen. But I like the chalk paints. So we are going to, this one right here was just, this was something I had on hand. I was gonna do the hello one, and then I was like, all right, honey, you gotta move out of sight. Thank you. And then I just decided at the last minute to fall's coming, so I need to start getting some fall stuff out. Because if you know, starting
white
next
on your
month,
hand.
August, which is right around the corner,
Oh, now you have white
people,
on
as
your
soon as
hand.
school hits, people are in fall decorating mode.
White on your hand. Mama, you're really white.
All right. Other thing I keep around is baby wipes. They're even great for, I used to paint, like, I do toll painting, folk art painting. And baby wipes are great for little paint mistakes. It will actually, you could take your project and remove mistakes. So, baby wipes it is. Keep those around. Alright. Now I need to tape this off so that I can get a crisp line again.
We need to paint the blue.
So I need to tape over this orange right along the line. Probably should have my glasses on, I can't see.
Yeah,
I
you
went and
should.
got new contacts.
You should come and get your glasses. Paint your glasses.
All right, let me see my glasses here. And when I had my eye exam with my new contacts, I had the choice of, do I want to see better far away, closer, or, which I didn't even know was possible, you close one eye and you open, you can see better with one eye further and one eye closer.
Yeah.
So I chose that I just want to see better further away, because regardless how I look at it, I'm at the age where I wear bifocals and it doesn't matter.
But I want to make a road.
Wait. Okay, so now I'm going to get my middle part here. And this right here is going to tell me how much of the white I want in the middle. So I'm going to choose this much. And like I said, there's no right or wrong with that. Honey, you can't use this. That's grandma's tape.
So what tape should I use?
We're not taping right now. All right, so let's get this, and let's get some white on here.
Can I paint at your house?
At our house, honey.
Yay.
All right.
I can paint at your house. But not here?
Oh, kids love to paint, huh?
But not here?
No, not right now. Sorry, I keep getting, every time I go live, I get a million phone calls. I don't know why. I think people sense that, and they're like, we're gonna call her. I love chalk paint. Chalk paint's one of my favorite things to use when I'm painting. So I probably have tons of chalk paint over
There's
regular
still
craft
brown
paint.
on that side.
Honey, I know, it's okay. We're just doing it lightly. I like the thickness of chalk paint. So let's do this. And again, let's just dry it just a tad. And we'll pull it off. are watching paint dry. And I'm not real worried about, if you notice, like there's the stains showing through. Because in the end, I'm going to actually do a little bit of sanding on this. I'm doing like a distress look on this one. So if that happens, you can always give it that look. So I'm going to rough up the edges just a little bit so it looks a little bit more rustic. Chalk paint dries nice and quick too. And sometimes when I'm here at the shop, I will put some butcher paper down and I'll actually set these under my heat presses and let them dry if I'm kind of in a hurry. So you can do that too. Okay. All right, now that we're done with this, this is where we're at. And you see how I said the bottom here kind of got that? No worries, we're gonna distress it a little. It's just gonna add to it, okay? So we've actually got the base of this done. All right, so I'm actually gonna set it aside. And we are gonna let me go and clean this out. Okay, so we're gonna get the our cutout out off the Glowforge. All right. All right. So let me show you how it turned out since it's done. And there it is, sitting in the Glowforge. Okay, well, let's see if we can see. There it is. It's all cut out, ready to go. So let me get that out. I'm gonna bring it over here because we're gonna work with that next. And this is what the board looks like when it's cut. I mean, it literally, everything I have is just laying right inside the Glowforge right now. So I'm gonna go pick those pieces out. Here are some of my pieces, and let me show you. You know, and when it's laying right in the bed. So I picked that up, and these are just laying in the bed. And when I do that, boom, they all come out. All right. Let's bring you over here. And there it is, okay? And here was the hello. Okay? Oh, sorry. Trying to hook you back up here. There we are. Okay. Now, remember that transfer paper we had? It's literally up here and it's still on here. So we need to peel this off because we're gonna paint this wood. Sometimes what I do is, and I will show you, I don't always, but let's get this transfer paper off of here. Oh, I think I lost my little, my little dot. I have issues with this dot. All right. I'm gonna put this in safekeeping. All right, let's get the dot paper off too. Sometimes I already paint my boards, and I like pre-paint several boards because my common colors that I use for paint for the lettering is usually black or white or like a cream. So I'll have the boards pre-painted, and then I'll mask them with some transfer tape, and then I'll cut them. And then I don't have to go through this process of cutting or painting that I'm going to do with you. Okay, I can't. That one's off, sorry. All right. And believe me, if you do that, that makes it so much quicker. If you already have some boards ready, painted. I did not. I have one that I was using, but I didn't have enough space to cut this out. And I'll show you a pre-painted board. See how this, I've already painted this. This was just one of those boards, and I already painted it. So, you know, I'll just go in and pre-paint a whole board. But I didn't have that, so all right, I closed down the Glowforge just so that it won't be so loud. So all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna paint these now. Oh, there's a little spider. Oh, get off. And these are really easy to paint. And again, they dry quickly, so no biggie. I just take some cardboard that I have, since I need it to be a little longer on me. I'm just gonna put these together. And then all I'm gonna do is, how I paint mine is, I just lay them out. I'm gonna get a little bit of paint, which I don't see, I didn't have black paint out, so let me grab my black. So I'm just gonna use, this is what I have on hand. I'm gonna use a little bit of black paint. And I use these little wedge sponges, all right? I stencil with these. I used to do lots of stencils. Can you go back and use a board again if there is a cut? Yes, yes, use that whole board. I have tons of boards here, that's why it's saved. Like this, you know, this is already masked, this isn't painted. And I'll go back, yes, you want to keep all of those pieces. And then, you know, when you need something fine and you have space in it, use it. Don't waste these boards. I always say it's, you know, think of the Glowforge, almost you're just cutting wood. I think of it like whenever I did vinyl, which I still do vinyl, but, you know, use as much scrap as you can and use up your scraps. All right, so I take these little wedges and these are cosmetic wedges that you can find right in like the makeup aisle. And that's what I do. And then I'll just get a little bit of paint, dab it off, and then I am just gonna go and start painting.
You're still not done?
Oh, Grandma's painting. And then I just come in and then I just start painting this.
Why?
It's Grandma's painting.
No. I want my chippies in the car.
All right, hold on. And this stops it from basically like oozing down the sides. People have issues with, you know, you don't want the sides to be all dripped and things like this.
Mine.
Here, go ahead, take it.